Stream begins. Dun 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 dun. As soon as I see it, there we go. As I hear myself. Alright, let's post this. Post. Hello! Welcome to Modelland. The beginning of the end of the beginning of the Modelland trilogy. How's everyone doing? Ready to smize and cries? Feels weird. That we're finally coming to an end after 569 pages. And we've only got one chapter left, but we've got 26 pages left because there's like a whole epilogue at the end. Tyra doesn't like traditional things like formatting or wrapping it up or getting to a point. Guess like I got my my smize on. I don't feel empowered actually. I don't normally wear this much eye makeup. And it feels clumpy. I probably did it wrong. Finale, finale, finale. What if I just did this the whole time? Pseudonymity. Thank you. Watching the Inner Light video. Smashing beauty standards. Oh my gosh. Toilet babies. Yeah. Alright, so we're doing the grand finale. A lot of stuff happened yesterday in Modelland. For people just joining us, by the way, this is the last one. This is the finale. But if you're just joining us and you want a summation, Modelland is Tyra Banks' Harry Potter Hunger Games self-insert young adult novel about a fashion-based post-apocalyptic society. Fashion is everywhere, and there's a mountain called Modelland where models train to be Intoxibellas. They have superpowers and stuff, and Tukey, young Tyra Banks, is chosen to go to Modelland. Insane things happened. So last episode, previously on Modelland, we read about there was the relationship between Tukey's mom, Creamy, and the Belladonna, who apparently knew each other in school, and Persimmon, one of the mannequins, which is the models that become mannequins when they don't want to leave Modelland. They knew each other in school, and it turns out that that the Belladonna had a toilet baby with wise old Wingtip. Wingtip came back into the story. And then they found out that CL was said toilet baby, and that her name stood for See Love, because she saw love. Oh, and then Creamy got an ugly old face because she went over the wall with the Belladonna to go see her baby, because her mom, the Queen Belladonna, was all mean. And then CL, the Belladonna stabbed Creamy, and then CL was declared the new Queen Belladonna via a guillotine prank. Did I miss anything? There was a lot. I have 2 super chats. One from KD Henley. Wow, Tyra, how come your mom lets you have 2 self-inserts? Yeah. 2 wieners. It was so funny when they were both having their like touching moments, like side by side, like they were trying to like out touching moment each other, but they're both Tyra inserts. Like the CL even says "kiss my fat ass," which is like a thing that Tyra said on her talk show once. Another from Melena Kiss, let me get the Modelland theme ready in another tab. Yes, thank you both. If you guys would like to experience all the ambiance intended for Modelland, do a quick Google Modelland theme song by Tyra Banks. You've never heard anything like it, and you never will again. Go ahead and get that ready. Another super chat from Cartoon Kelly. Here on time today. Let's finish this thing, Hot Queen. Thank you. Well, let's do it then. We're 10 minutes past the hour. It's high time. We got 26 pages to go. One more chapter. Endgame. Chapter 47. La Lengua. Tuki emerged from the M building and started back toward the D, still numb with shock. Had it really happened? Was CL truly the new Princess Belladonna? I didn't even know they were supposed to be royalty till last chapter. I didn't realize they had their whole hierarchy system there. Well, I knew there was sort of a school hierarchy, but I didn't realize there was a monarchy going on. I thought they had no jurisdiction in Metopia. Had Gennaro honestly kissed Tuki's dirty, oversized feet as though she were the queen of Gaudi? Pure, unfiltered happiness filled her from the tips of her toes to the top of her head. H2T Tyra. She couldn't wait to tell the Unikas what had happened. She could just picture Dylan almost fainting from glee, Shiraz doing a victory dance, and Piper smiling, hypothesizing how Modelland's conditions would improve under CL's rule. The whole world around Tuki glistened as though it had been scrubbed clean. Many girls along Tuki's walk were still distraught and some hysterical over the abrupt ending of the 7-7 tournament. Only Kamalani walked among the crowd unscathed and unbothered, bopping to her headbanger. Tuki wanted to throw her arms around the girl. If Kamalani hadn't told her to run into the O on the first day there, Tuki might not be at Modelland today. But Kamalani was too far away. Tuki would have to thank her later. She was stuck in her addiction. Tuki was overflowing with delight and practically skipped down the path toward the D entrance. A rustling sound in the bushes made her stop short. Zarpessa stepped out from behind the bushes, dun dun dun, eyeing Tuki dangerously. Tuki froze, her euphoria suddenly fading away. She wasn't in the mood for a confrontation. Look, Zarpessa, for the last time, I didn't tell anyone your secret, okay? I know, Zarpessa said. Tuki blinked hard. You do? Zarpessa thrust her chin into the air. I went back to the feds and asked some questions. Dr. Erica told me everything that happened the night she told me she asked around, seeing if anyone knew anything about my history, and no one did. Not even you. Her eyebrows arched. Why didn't you tell? I mean, I would have if I were you. Survival of the fittest. I know that the book is ending now, so I guess I just found out that you didn't say anything and were cool. First you want me to keep it a secret, now you want me to tell? Tuki threw up her hands in confusion. Whatever happened to you is your business. But your harsh reality is still no excuse to be evil, Zarpessa. This is a place for all of us to start fresh, to forget what happened in our previous lives. Zarpessa leaned back and examined Tuki in full, perhaps really looking at her for the first time. Well, I guess this is where I say, I don't know, thank you? She said begrudgingly. But if you think we're going to, bond now, you're sorely mistaken. I don't need a shoulder to cry on about my crappy family. Certainly not your scraggy-ass shoulder. Whatever, Zarpessa, Tuki shrugged, mad at herself for even thinking Zarpessa had changed. Grrr. Then Zarpessa stepped forward and stuck her finger in Tuki's face. And what was all that in the Orb-Arena about my Theophilus? Just Tuki being creepy about your boyfriend who has no romantic interest in her. Tuki blinked. She'd forgotten what she'd said about Theophilus in the heat of the moment. I just wanted to make Bravo jealous, she said in a small voice. There was no way she could get into the Theophilus argument with Zarpessa now. His was the first name I thought of. This seemed to satisfy Zarpessa, and she placed her hands on her hips. Don't ever think Theophilus would be into you, you unfortunate-looking, big-headed, crazy-eyed, forgettable bitch. Wow, that lasted 2 seconds. Stay away from him, and from me too, because if you ever tell, I'll make your life a living hell, worse than the hell I live in back home. Tukey shrank back, her eyes wide, but even though she was trembling inside, she mustered a smile. You're welcome, Zarpessa, she said as the girl walked away. Tukey slumped down on a bench for a moment, trying to shake off Zarpessa's hatred. She heard the bushes rustle again and jumped up. Ah, it's Wingtip! She heard the bushes rustle again and jumped up, prepared for the wrath of Zarpessa. Round 2. Webb, Alexander, and O'Neill appeared from the bushes, surrounding her. A knife of fear sliced through Tukey's chest. All she could think of was the lewd things Bravo's friends had probably said to him when the 4 of them had hatched the bet about Tukey. She rolled her shoulders back and tried to push past them. Excuse me, she said tightly. I'm better than they are, she chanted again and again in her head. CL, the Princess Belladonna, thinks so. Oh, like, immediately after all this shit, like, she's like, me. I don't remember any of these voices ever! Tukey, wait, Webb said, grabbing Tukey's hand, and in a split second, all 3 boys stripped off their uniform shirts, revealing tan mahogany and golden skin and sharply defined pectoral and abdominal muscles. Oh no. Tukey recoiled and turned away. Now they were stripping for her? Did they want a piece of her too? I'm not everyone's bet, she shrieked. Leave me the hell alone. And then she noticed there was something written on their chests in goopy red paint. Tukey, Webb's chest said. I'm so, Alexander said, and Neil said sorry. It's an apology. Like, they treat apologies like a football game. Like, they paint on their chests, I'm so sorry, and like, yeah! Apologies! Go Bulls! The Bears! The Bears are the ones, right? I think the Bulls are... There's probably a football Bulls, too. Do I play the sports? An apology stripogram. Yep. Tukey read the words, frowning. She was seething! Was this some kind of joke? She even takes this in the wrong way. Like, she's the most touchy person in the world. She was about to turn away once more when the 3 boys jumped in unison, now showing her their backs. More words in the same red script were scrawled across their broad back muscles. It was never a bet! Alright, dude. This is pathetic. You know, we only have so many pages left. We have 23 pages left, and a lot of those are some sort of epilogue. So, like, what even is gonna happen? What's left? Yeah, right, Tukey sputtered. But when the boys turned back around, their expressions were plaintive and repentant, not teasing and disrespectful. From behind, someone grabbed Tukey's shoulder, and she turned to find Bravo in a perfectly fitted velvet tuxedo! Oh no! Are they gonna reenact the thing she said? The crazy thing that she said during the man attack thing? About all the things her perfect first lip virginity loss would be? And then it's revealed the Bachelor is there! Tukey, will you take this rose? I hope that it's like a ridiculous, like a Dumb and Dumber tuxedo. Thanks, y'all, Bravo said, slapping his friend's hands. I owe you big time. The 3 boys pulled on their shirts, gave Tukey a polite nod, and disappeared down the path, leaving Tukey and Bravo alone. Tukey stared at him, still not sure if this was a joke. Bravo approached her. So, he said nervously, you're back. That's right, she said stubbornly. There was a long silence. Finally, Bravo met her eyes. Oh no, there's a long section. He's gonna talk forever. What they wrote on their chests is true, Tukey. There was never a bet, I swear. I only told you that because I was mad you were leaving, and I thought you used me. I opened myself up to you, and I felt all vulnerable. Telling you all that stuff gave you a lot of control over me. And then I regretted telling you that when
telling you when you said you were leaving, and I stooped really low and tried to hurt you more than I was hurting. I'm so sorry.
He shifted his feet on the path.
But Tukey, I've never met anyone like you. I don't want you to go. The architecture suddenly wasn't enough for me to want to stay here without you.
The architecture wasn't enough! Then he chuckled lightly.
I wanted to write, Tukey, you're the most amazing girl I've ever laid eyes on. I can't decide which to love more, your green eye or your brown eye. But there wasn't enough room on everyone's chests. Believe me, we tried.
Enough with the eyes! She's the most self-conscious person about such a non-issue. No one cares. The true architecture was the friends we met along the way. Tukey stared at him, her resolve crumbling a little. All at once it made sense. The tuxedo, the writing on the chest. What's going on here? The dress, the candles, the music. It was exactly what she told him she wanted during the man attack. All those crazy things she'd come up with, and he was executing them one by one. Executing. Then Bravo took her hand.
I want to show you something.
He started to pull Tukey across the O. They stopped at a garden Tukey had never seen before, right on the border between Modelland and Bestosterone. If you step between the border of Modelland and Bestosterone, are you in two countries at once? It was filled with the most beautiful golden yellow fabric flowers she'd ever seen, and they went on for a mile.
I just planted these today,
Bravo said.
As soon as I saw you'd come back, me and my boys got on the job.
That's an unauthorized planting going on there. Unauthorized landscaping. I don't think the Belladonna would have approved of that, but I guess CL would. There was a change in regime between when he started and in this moment. You planted this for me? Tukey whispered, thinking again of her crazy first kiss wish. Bravo nodded.
Okay, confession time. We use special Modelland multiplying seeds.
Shut up, Modelland multiplying seeds. Then he grabbed Tukey's hands and began to sing a strange little tune slightly off key. She couldn't resist another damn song. Another super chat from Hex the Bookworm. Fun fact, if someone has two different colored eyes, they are usually deaf or hard of hearing. Well, that, I don't know if I would say it was fun, but that, you know what? I learned something today. Thank you. All right.
Oh, Tukey, 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 I love you more than architecture and Laura's oatmeal cookies. Went to the feds 'cause my heart was failing. The purse said, no, Bravo, Daily Crem's got your pulsating.
That is the worst fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. But you know, it's from the heart. He's for real. If he says he loves her more than architecture, he's a real one. Another super chat from Cartoon Kelly. This is the most hideous car crash and I can't look away. So much why. Thank you. Oh, this is the worst. This sucks. Oh my god. You know how many pages we got left of this chapter? 4 pages left. God, there's more song! Tukey was trying with all her might to hold in her laughter. You sound really bad, Bravo. You don't have to sing for me.
This is what you wanted. You deserve to get what you want.
I'm gonna sing for you, listen! But you should be pissed at me, Tukey said, because I hit you, because I left from our zip zap, because of Theophilus? Question mark? Did that do anything for you?
But you came back,
Bravo said.
And Theophilus, well...
Theophilus isn't my boyfriend, Tukey blurted out. He's Zarpessa's, actually. I was kinda obsessed with him, but nothing ever happened. Bravo nodded, looking relieved. Then he continued his song.
Oh, Tukey, I never wagered your lip...
Nuki, no! 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 I never want to read in anything again in my life. Lip nookie. Nookie. I did it for the lip nookie. Lip nookie. I never thought I would read anything more hideous than lip virginity. And Tyra throws out lip nookie, and I'm supposed to... How am I supposed to process this? I'm supposed to live my life like nothing ever happened? I just can't go on from this.
Oh, Tukey, I never wagered your lip nookie. In your eyes is the only place I want a lookie. You've taught me about loving and giving. I was a rookie. You're so pure and sweet. Now I'm hooky on Tukey.
God! Why? It's like she... You know, alright. I feel like I've dunked a lot on Tyra's Modelland theme song. But now I feel like it's pretty on brand for the rest of this book, as in every song in this is the worst song ever written. And I imagine if these were ever sung in the way they were intended, I am taking some artistic license, they would sound like you're being stabbed in the ear repeatedly. Bravo then did a spin and tried to drop down in a half split, but almost fell over. Yeah. Tukey covered her eyes. Stop it, she said bashfully. Oh, please. But in truth, she kinda liked this. A lot. You would. Bravo lowered his face to hers.
I still want to be your first, Tukey.
Tukey blinked hard. Oh my god, this is all for a kiss. This is all just leading up to a kiss. Just get the fuck over it. It ain't that big a deal. Just shut up. We have 569 pages to get to your stupid fucking first kiss? Idiot.
You're special first,
Bravo went on. He moved an inch closer and cradled her face in his hands.
You're only first!
That's so creepy. You're only first. I didn't add that. That's what he said. That's so creepy. Tukey shut her eyes. This was happening.
How privileged I would be if you said yes,
Bravo whispered, his lips puckered just so, looking extremely lush and biteable.
Will you? Will you?
Tukey swallowed hard. In the distance, a couple of birds sang to one another. That's what birds sound like. A peal of laughter rang from the O, but it all sounded very far away. Privileged? For real? Bravo squeezed her hands.
For real, for real. Will you say yes?
She could feel his breath on her face. Her heart rocketed in her ears. Yes, but wait. Bravo leaned back, staring at her. I have a story for you, just like the story you told me. But first, a story, Tukey said. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Tucolata.
Tucolata,
Bravo said, amused. Another super chat from Cartoon Kelly. You make me sing a song. We're all in this together, and here we are, hand in hand, through the horror and cringe, we'll make it through. I probably didn't do the tune right. Thank you. All right, but first a story. Thank you. Let's prolong this forever. Let's feel ourselves aging into creamy Delacremes. Shh, just go with it, okay? So anyway, nobody saw her, ever. She would lie on the floor of her school. Dude, enough of this. We know. God. She would lie on the floor of her school waiting for someone to trip over her or kick her or anything, but no one ever did. It was like she was a piece of trash, defective, uncoordinated, unattractive, and unmemorable. Tukey cleared her throat, her skin prickling. Tucolata wanted love, she went on. She wanted affection. Tucolata want love! She wanted it so badly she collected a random item from a boy she liked. Well, it sounds creepy when you say it that way. She touched the Tanuki pin under her flower. After a moment, she reached under the brooch, removed the pin, leaving the flower brooch where it was, and held the pin in her hand. Bravo looked at it, but didn't say anything. And she practiced kissing that boy in her mirror, and she thought she was alone. Tukey went on, twisting her mouth at the memory of how Miracle had once caught her. Tucolata was convinced that that all she'd ever kissed for the rest of her life was a mirror. She was a forget-a girl. A girl no one would ever want to kiss. A girl someone might bet on, make fun of, shun, ignore. Another super chat from Katie Henley. I will never again feel bad about my writing after this. Thank you.
And how does the story end?
Bravo said, squeezing her hand. Hint, hint. Another super chat from Cameron Stone. Everyone needs a friend, even the Pelican Man. Thank you. The Pelican Man would fit right into this book.
Does Tucolata live a miserable life, alone, afraid, not allowing herself to open up to anyone, running away? Or does she take a risk and realize that someone does want her, really wants her, and really loves her?
Tukey bit her lip, staring at the grass. The second option, she whispered. Bravo poked her playfully.
Hi, Tucolata.
Tukey giggled and looked up. This was so unnecessary. Hi, Deco, she said in a small, shy voice.
Hi, Tukey,
Bravo said, staring into Dukey's eyes. Hi. Hi, Bravo. And then Bravo kissed her forehead. Mwah! And then her cheeks. Mwah, mwah! And then her nose. He sucked on her earlobe, sending a jolt of warmth all over her body, followed by an intense feeling of pleasure she'd never experienced before. Wait, shouldn't you kiss on the lips before you get to the earlobe sucking? I'm just saying. Her back arched at his slightest touch. Tingles danced from the crown of her head down to her abdomen. She clenched her muscles, then let go, and then at the same time they both licked their own thumbs and smoothed the other's eyebrows.
Close your eyes,
Bravo said, and Tukey did as she was told. You do a pre-kiss eyebrow licking? She heard the sound of a whipped cream can shaking and instinctively opened her mouth just in time for Bravo to shoot a cold stream of whip onto her tongue. The tingles continued down to her hips. She then heard Bravo squirt some cream into his own mouth. And then, slowly, gently, Bravo's soft lips touched hers. His lips parted and she felt something thick and slimy inside of her mouth. His tongue! Ew! 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 She pulled away, wide-eyed. I don't like kissing that way. What are we supposed to feel about any of this? My first kiss sucked. Don't do that. Super chat from Riff Trick. The Riff Chick, I'm sorry. The straights are at it again. Thank you. I don't like kissing that way. Bravo looks surprised.
But you've never kissed before.
You'll get used to it. I know I haven't, but my mirror didn't have a tongue, Tukey said, smiling, tracing her finger across Bravo's cheek. It just feels weird, and this is about what I want, right? Bravo nodded, pulling his body slightly away from hers.
We can go as slow as you want, Tukey. You will set our pace, always.
But I will be your only first kiss! And then he kissed her again, parting his lips only a little, his tongue remaining inside his mouth. He bit slightly on her bottom lip. Tukey grabbed onto the back of his neck, her body feeling hot and alive. They remained like that for a long, long time, uncomfortably long. And when they pulled back, they stared at each other as only two people who were enchanted with one another can do. A single tear fell from Tukey's brown eye. Bravo brought his lips to the wetness and kissed it tenderly. Modelland was bathed in joyful golden light. The corners of Tukey's lips felt like they might split from smiling. She wanted to prolong this moment for as long as she lived. Can we do it again? She whispered. As they continued to kiss, Tukey opened her palm and let the defective purloined Tanuki button fall to the grass. She didn't need it anymore. And thus ended her kiss with Tuxedo Bravo. That's the end of that chapter. That's the end of that chapter and the end of Tuki's story. I mean, let me just say this. We have 17 pages left. But no more chapters. Another super chat from Kasara Leak. Tyra is just torturing us at this point. Alright. Let's finish this. Epilogue! Do you see her? The girl whose face looks, well, maybe not symmetrical, but still quite interesting. Yes, her eyes are still 3 centimeters too far apart, and her mouth is 4 centimeters too wide. And yes, when you look at her face, you might say something is definitely off. But perhaps its unusual qualities draw your attention, making you linger. I got 2 super chats. One from Cameron Stone. We hope you've enjoyed No Moral Theater, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Another from Dark Side Ballerina. Oh, thank you. I can't thank you enough for reading Modelland. It was something I look forward to help me get through working from home. I really appreciate you. I have a thing for So Bad It's Good stuff, and I found so many cool things because of you. Oh, thank you. It's a very nice super chat. Come on now, you see her. If you tilt your head up, way up, and stare at the mountain, she's standing outside on the top of the M building, her gauzy Modelland nightgown waving in the breeze. She's the girl whose hair still has multiple personality disorder and can't decide if it's supposed to be quasi-curly, silky straight, frantic, frizzy, wet and wavy, or a power to the people fro. Tyra, enough of this self-aggrandizing. But she's kind of okay with that. The girl whose feet are still the size of last winter's snowshoes. She's not okay with that. But her body is no longer hunched over. Instead, she stands tall, like she sprouted an inch or two. And her stick figure arms and legs are still fragile, yes, but there's something a little more filled out about her than before. Even so, you might hear her limbs pleading, "Feed me an entire vat of whipped cream, now!" But that's only because she fancies the delicacy so much. Another super chat from Cartoon Kelly. Oh god, the narrator again. Thank you. Her head's still the size of a punch bowl, with a forehead that goes on and on and on, but she holds it high, like only someone whose big brain is filled with eloquent strings of words and brave, gutsy thoughts can do. Shut up. With her mega-mind head. And her eyes, though mismatched, one brown, one green, shut the fuck up. Just add to her uniqueness. They almost look, dare I say, enchanting. Do you see Chuki de la Creme up there? Do you see Tyra Banks? Do you see her? I bet you do, and I bet you'll remember her for a long, long time. See, don't you start. This next thing says our tale ends on, but there's still 15 pages left. I know this for a fact. I know that there are 15 pages left, and they're actual things, and not just, a key or a bibliography or keywords, or whatever. Our tale ends on a clear, starry evening, the most extraordinary of extraordinary evenings in the most extraordinary of places. And Tuki de la Creme, Modelland Bella, was not lying on the floor of B3, praying for students to trample her, but instead was standing outside atop the M building, wind in her hair, goosebumps on her bare arms. She looked down at the expanse of Metopia's 4 distinct quadrants surrounding the mountain and prayed that Lizzie was still down there, still alive. Whatever. Then she ran her hand over the wide... We'll never know. Because we ain't getting any more Modelland books. Then she ran her hand over the wide stretch of skin above her eyebrows. Her forehead. It's her forehead. All of a sudden, something ironic occurred to her. The adjective form of the word Metopia was metopic, which meant, as she'd found in Dr. Erica's medical dictionary, of or pertaining to the forehead. So that's why she named it Metopia, because she's self-centered and also, like, forehead? The forehead thing? It's a wonder I wasn't the queen of Metopia. Modelland was still anything but calm. Even though it was past midnight, Bella still crammed Beautification Boulevard in protest, demanding answers about why the 7-7 tournament had abruptly ceased. I can't believe we won't see the 7-7 tournament. I can't believe it. Leave us hanging. 7-7 contestants lay on the Golden Plaza, crying golden tears. Bestostero stood guard among the crazed Bellas, trying to keep the peace. Purses circled... Purses, 'cause the nurses, purses. Purses circled, and doctors skated around the crowd, scooping up girls who were on the verge of nervous breakdowns. Then, from a corner of the plaza, Tukey heard a meow, followed by a scream. Ah! Get away from me, you bitey, scratchy things! Oh, right. Get away from me, you bitey, scratchy things! Creamy! A ditzy voice whined, so she gets to stay. Miracle, Tukey thought, perking up. Was her sister still at Modelland, now trapped in Catwalk Corridor? Oh, she's a cat? Did Miracle get turned into a cat? My sister the cat. I bet that would have been a great plot thread in the next Modelland book. It's so sad we won't see it. Miracle, Tukey thought, perking up. Was her sister still at Modelland, now trapped in Catwalk Corridor? Well, at least she's here, Tukey thought, stifling a giggle. Modelland is where she belongs, after all. Isn't the view amazing? A voice said. Tukey turned, and there was CL, wrapped in a gauzy jumpsuit with bat-wing sleeves. I guess I'll get to see it all the time now. It's gorgeous, Tukey agreed. Earlier in the evening, a note had been slipped under her door. Tukey, meet me tonight at the south point of the M. She spells tonight, Tonite. Meet me tonight at the south point of the M, Princess Belladonna. Can you flip and believe it? I can't. Fearsome love, CL. Shut up with the fearsome love. That's how Tyra also signs her Tyra mail. CL, who had not announced her reign to the Bellas yet, the board was still debating the most opportune time to do so, had given Tukey a special permit to get into the M building without setting off any alarms. Tukey had passed a few guards on her way up, but they just nodded at her like she was someone special. Maybe she was. Now CL glanced at the large statue of the Belladonna. It was covered with an enormous drop cloth. Next to it, a new statue was ensconced with scaffolding. Sculptors toiled away, carving the rock. Tukey knew this new statue would be of CL, Princess Belladonna of Modelland. No one's above anyone else. I'm gonna shatter the standards of beauty. Oh, a statue of me? Well, yes, go ahead then. That's fine. This is all so freaky, CL whispered. It's kind of weirding me out. Tukey looked at her. What do you think will happen to her, the old Belladonna? I don't know if someone's mowing? No, that's a motorcycle. It's a motorcycle. Tukey looked at her. What do you think will happen to the old Belladonna? She trailed off, unable to say mother. Will she stay in the ugly room? She'll become the villain for the books, the sequels. That will happen, for sure. I may be the Princess Belladonna, but that's not for me to decide, CL answered, great sadness in her voice. The board makes that decision based on a volume of rules and bylaws taller than you and thicker than me. But not thicker than you. I just hope they aren't too harsh on her. Yeah, she may have committed a crime, and she certainly did something insane that changed my childhood forever, but she's still my... She bit her lip, unable to say mother. Then CL looked out over the great expanse of the land. You've been at Modelland a whole year, Tukey. I spoke with the board. Despite your crazy mama's trespassing and the whole T-Dod switcheroo thingy, unfortunately, you're stuck here at Modelland. She winked at Tukey. It is unfortunate. Yep, girl, they want you here. Well, most of us do. Another super chat from CJ Summersby. When does Mitch Buchanan PI turn up to solve all of these problems? Love the vids. Thank you. If only. Really? Tukey breathed out, her body filling with elation and relief. CL waved a finger at Tukey, her face stern. But don't be putting your celebration shoes on just yet. Applause still thinks you're a seamstress. Plus, when I was here, second year was crazy hard. Shoot, they're easy on you, no-see Bellas. This year was easy? Tukey sputtered in disbelief. Yes, Tyra comforts Tyra. Older Tyra comforts younger Tyra. CL nodded, moonlight dancing on her face. But from here on out, it gets insane. Don't get me wrong, there's a new 777 sheriff in town. There's a new 777 sheriff in town. But I don't know exactly how I'll be changing things around here. I do know I'm a do things CL style, minus the crazy and spooky parts. I'm not crazy anymore. I'm royalty. And shoot, maybe I'll throw in some posing
posing poetry slams, and oh my god, who knows what else. But what I do know is that I want to make this a place where girls like my sister friends could have come.
Her eyes watered with tears.
For the sister friends.
But that'll be an uphill battle with the board, she said, wiping her tears away. Then she looked at Tukey. But mark my words, your segunda year will be like hell in heaven. Think you can handle that? Plus a uniform change from green to violet.
Ooh. But is the uniforms the color of the times?
It's violet o'clock.
Tukey nodded shakily.
I want to try. I love it here. I feel like I almost belong. Because you do, girl.
CL's gaze was intense.
Look, Tukey, you've been underestimated your entire life, including here. The wind is in your face, it's blowing harder than Gustgape, and it ain't dying down anytime soon. But that's actually a good thing, because when people have low expectations, you're just constantly going, ta-da! And they're like, wow, I had no idea.
Wow, what an inspirational speech.
It doesn't take a lot to wow them when they don't expect much from you. You've got to go
have low expectations. Make people think you're a piece of shit.
You've got to go for your destiny now. That's how I became a 777 girl. Dream big, bigger than you ever have. So big that people laugh in your face. You need to grab onto the handlebars of fierceness and not let go. Because you're special, Tukey. You might not know it yet, but you've got a beautiful light that shines inside of you.
Tukey's jaw dropped. Someone else told me that exact same thing once, she whispered, remembering Wingtip's uplifting words from a year ago. Wise old Wingtip. CL's father. It made sense that CL had nearly echoed him. Wingtip, Ray Fay, was her father, after all. You inherit phrases, despite never meeting your parent. Tukey breathed in, wanting to tell CL something about her dad, that he was warm and tender, that he would have cared for her dearly, and that maybe he descended into melancholy because he'd lost her forever. You know you can find him now, right? They know where he is. They know exactly where Tukey knows where he goes every day. She can tell him where he is. She can tell her where he is. 2 super chats, one from Melanicus. I'm so thankful that I was able to make it to almost all the streams. These streams have been a highlight of the 2020 so far. We're about to survive this book. Aw, thank you. And from Laura Hertzman and right? Thank you. Two very different super chats, but both valid and relatable. All right. Where am I? We got 11 pages left. I'm so sorry. Tukey breathed in, wanting to... I feel I gave people false hopes when I said it was the last chapter, but there was still an epilogue, because, I mean... There's still a lot. Tukey's jaw dropped. It's... No, I already read that part. Then CL touched her arm.
Want to fly with me?
Tukey frowned. Like on T-Dot? Like when you brought us back from Ladorno? CL shook her head.
Nah, girl, been there, done that. Outside the pouch.
She graduated to outside the pouch. Y'all remember when you got old enough to fly outside the pouch? That was the last great milestone, isn't it? She lowered her chin and her Batwing outfit disappeared and 1,000 glittering necklaces appeared all over her body. It was the same outfit she had worn on T-Dod. One of the necklaces stretched out like a tentacle and looped over Tukey's head. A warm light glowed. Tukey's nightgown lit up, revealing hundreds of strands of bejeweled necklaces. Tukey gasped. CL grinned.
Girl, if you want to fly with me, you gotta look fly.
You gotta look fly to fly.
You dropped something after Man Attack. Thought you'd like it back.
CL placed her hands over Tukey's face. She dropped her face? An incredible familiar feeling swept over Tukey. The Smize! This time she recognized the energy that pulls through her, and just like before, power zipped through her veins. Feel the power! Unlimited power! Feelings like waves of intense ecstasy crashed into her, surrounding her with the most magnificent smells and tastes and sounds ever heard. Are they going to get to a point anytime soon? She felt tantalizing, luminescent, invincible, sorry, ooh, Freudian slip. Drop dead, beautiful. Ready? CL reached out her hand to Tukey just as she had when they'd stood atop the car in Ladorna Square.
Tukey grabbed it tight. She wasn't afraid this time, though. She was excited. She gripped CL's hand with pride and conviction. Now climb on my back, CL instructed, like Yoda. Seagulls, stop it now.
What is the Seagulls tune? I only know that one part now. Something and rolling. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. As they took off into the sky, Tukey thought about how much she'd changed since the day CL had plucked her from her family in Ladorno on the day of discovery a year before. She was a different person now, confident, nervy, a friend who had friends, the triple S. Yeah, this is literally another chapter. Sorry, I didn't know. I thought there was no chapter label. It's just another chapter. Why didn't you call it a chapter? Suddenly, as the wind whipped through her multi-textured hair, she thought of the letter she'd composed a few hours ago in her T-mail jail. The sentences flowed fluidly in her mind, just as they had done when she'd written them down on paper. This journey hasn't been easy for me. Every step of the way I've struggled, stumbled, doubted, cursed, and felt sure that I couldn't go on. But I feel stronger because of it, almost like I needed to go through it to get where I am now. I still don't know if Modelland is my place, or if I'm meant for something else. Maybe I'll always doubt, but maybe it's the doubt that keeps me determined, hungry. Always looking to prove and improve myself, make myself better. Every night as I lie in my Lumiere-less bed, I wonder how many other girls are like me out there around the world. Maybe, like me, we are all Tukey. We are all Tukey inside.
Maybe, like me, your father abandoned you, or perhaps you never even knew him.
Tyra thinks this is the big inspirational moment. For all the kids reading who loved all of the gore and toilet babies and periods and shit.
Maybe your mom's a terror and you have no friends. Maybe you're not the best loved or best looking daughter. Maybe someone hurts you, but you're too nervous to tell anyone. Maybe you hurt yourself and want to stop, but don't know how.
She didn't give any sort of conclusion. It was just like either become royalty or run away. That's how you solve self-harming.
Maybe you give of your body freely, hoping to get love in return. Or maybe you look at everyone else's bodies and then compare them to and detest your own.
Tyra Banks, you are a supermodel. Shut up.
Maybe people hurl angry, hurtful words at you, making you want to curl up and disappear. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe you hate your reflection, or everyone thinks you're the prettiest, but you still feel ugly inside. Maybe you're under intense pressure that you think you can never overcome. Maybe someone tells you daily that you aren't smart, or pretty, or skinny, or talented, or good enough. I know what you are going through. Tyra knows what you're going through. I've made a difficult journey to get here, and I have a lot farther to go. I must fight for my place every single day. I must fight! It's easy to shine when everything is perfect, but when things are a little shaky, the best truly emerge to show it won't tear them down. That's when the struggle to succeed really starts. I pray you find that strength inside of you, that special inner light that shines extra bright. Oh, don't you be talking about inner lights to me. Another super chat from Kevin LaChuca. Oh, thank you. Couldn't be here for the last few lives, but I love this Modelland experience. Thanks for doing this, and I hope you're doing well, Allison. Thank you so much. I want to dedicate my struggle and all my time at Modelland to you. I dedicate this to you, reader. Humble. Hashtag humble. Everything I've gone through, everything I'll continue to face is all for you. And I want you to make me a promise. Take all of your pain, take all of the hurt you're feeling and your bad memories and your darkest thoughts and send it out to the universe. To me. Send your dark thoughts to me. I will feed on it. I'll be your vessel. I'll carry all of your hurt inside me so that you can be free. I will carry your yoke. All who are burdened, come to me. I will carry your yoke. For I am the Lord, Tyra Christ. I'll be your vessel. I'll be your vessel. Isn't that a country song? I'll carry all of the hurt inside me so that you can be free. And every challenge I go through at Modelland will be for me and you. For us. We can do this. But I'm going to need you too.
When I feel weak, scared, or like I want to give up, I need you to send your strength and power to me on this mountain. Clap if you believe in Tookies! Clap!
Tyrus the wind beneath my wings.
I can't make it through this place alone, okay? Promise? I believe in you with all my heart, and I hope you believe in me. Believe in the me that believes in you. I just want us to get to the place where we believe in ourselves just as strongly. Believingly. And besides, there's always room for you in the exclusive Unica's crew. Fierce in love, Tookie. And then she signed the IRG, Remember Girl, instead of Forget a Girl. Tookie and CL swept through the sky, circling within the Modelland borders, outside the pouch. She gets to fly outside of the Capri Sun. Suddenly, something invisible tugged at CL's body, pulling her toward the mysterious cemetery within the diabolical divide. Oh, they gotta do something creepy real quick before the ending of Epilogue 1? Okay, I will say this. This is... Alright, the rest of it's acknowledgements after this. Okay. Alright, we're almost done with the story proper. The other stuff is from Tyra herself. Alright. We're almost there. I'm getting the sensation that... Is CL saying this? Oh. I'm getting the sensation that I'm about to teleportal, she yelled over the rushing air. Teleportal where? Tookie yelled back, confused. I don't know, CL answered. Sometimes this happens. The universe tells me to teleportal, and even though I don't know where I'm going, I just go with it. She gestured to the 6 silvery gravestones directly below them. If you let go of my hand, you'll float gently back to Modelland. You don't have to come with me. I don't know what we're in for. Just months ago, Tookie would have dropped CL's hand in an instant, too afraid to face the unknown, but now the idea intrigued her. It would be an adventure, an experience, better yet, an experiment. She clutched CL's hand hard. I want to go with you. I want to go with you. Are you sure? Hells yeah, Tookie yelled. All right, girl, let's do this, CL shouted. She arched her back and their bodies pivoted and shot toward the ground with breakneck speed. I just want to say that is Tookie's last line of dialogue is hells yeah. The wind snapped through Tookie's hair. She felt the skin of her cheeks pressing back as they gathered momentum. The cemetery loomed closer, so close that Tookie could read the names on the graves. Muse Melodia, Muse Prancia, Muse Chromia, Muse Dramatia, Muse Fabricia, Muse Kitectia. Each stone glowed fiery gold as they approached, but instead of crying out in fear, Tookie let out an adventurous whoop, whoop, whoop. She thought again of the new letter she'd written for T-Mail Jail, to the audience. To you, dear readers. Recalling how she had addressed it, to every forget-a-girl in the entire world, and how she had signed off Tookie, dotting her I with RG for Remember Girl. We remember that was a page ago. The Intoxabella and soon-to-be Segunda Bella shot like arrows toward the earth. A black hole opened up as their bodies approached. Just Tookie and CL entered. The hole magically, seamlessly swallowed them up, and the two of them disappeared. It's about your kids, Marty! Mario, Luigi, you're not gonna believe this! Come with me! We'll never know what happened. We'll never know. It doesn't deserve a Ric Flair woo. They're dead. Yeah, they died. The end. That is the end of the story. We have acknowledgements here. Let's see what, oh my god. She goes on for 5 pages of acknowledgements. We will come back to Modelland. First, acknowledgements. Acknowledgements! The idea for Modelland came to me when I was in the car on the FDR Drive in New York City. I jotted it down on a piece of scratch paper and tucked it into my purse. The idea came to me when I read Harry Potter and wanted to do my own version and have a young adult novel series made into a movie/franchise.
4 years later, that scrap of paper has transformed into the book or digital thingamajig you now hold in your hands. Because of that, I have many people and places to say merci, danke, and gracias to. Danke? Not danke. Danke. And gracias to. From a scrap of paper. Danke! From a scrap of paper, Modelland went to paper notebooks that I could write story beats in while sitting by the Hudson River. So thank you, Hudson, even if your water is not as blue as I would like it to be. Dunk on the Hudson River. The notebook material then made its way into my laptop. You don't need to go into this much detail, Tyra. And I squatted at many cafes for longer than the average dining period should last, and none of you complained to my face. I know some of you were complaining. Not to my face. So thank you, NoHo Star, Cafe Filai, Ciao Bellows, Balthazar, Delicatessen. Balthazar is the name of a cafe. Delicatessen Colina at the Four Seasons, Iris Cafe Asalina at Gansevoort Park Avenue, and the cafe at the Guggenheim Museum, and Ondas Fifth Avenue, your hotel common areas, and the shop. We don't need this, Tyra. She's just name-dropping cafes now? And a special thanks to the Crosby Street Hotel restaurant. Sometimes I'd sit in one seat there for 8 hours at a time, ordering breakfast, lunch, then dinner, only getting up for bio breaks. I know I abused the privilege of that corner window seat. You made me so comfy, though. You practically offered me a pillow and a blanket, and for that I am forever grateful. We had to hear all this stuff about the fake Tyras, and now we have to hear all this stuff about the real Tyra. Can't wait for the slumber party when I start Modelland too. That is so rich. I can't forget to thank my mom and John's during dining room tables. My mom and John's dining room tables. Thank you for letting me mar you with John might be your stepdad, maybe. Thank you for letting me mar you with stacks of papers, computer tables, and coffee mug rings. Oh, she's just thanking the tables, not them. Mom and John, I send you each big sloppy kisses. Super chat from Samir Sela. All of these relatable places. Thank you. My other life, being the chairwoman and CEO of the Tyra Banks Company, my other life, did not stop, and the pressure I was under was intense. At times I had to get away so I could focus on Modelland. Oh, it was so hard, focusing on my other life as CEO of the Tyra Banks Company. I just wanted to write my Modelland. I went on a few kind of swanky retreats, camping out at hotels and doing nothing but writing. Terranea Resorts, you helped produce a marvelous outline for Modelland. This is the real rags to riches story of Tyra Banks. I might not have followed it exactly, but it was an amazing framework. Terranea Resort helped her produce an outline that she didn't follow exactly. St. Regis Monarch Beach, thanks for the love and golf cart trips to the restaurant right on the sand. And Montage Laguna Beach, thanks for not complaining when I asked for an extension cord for my battery-drained laptop and you snaked one from about half a mile away to my balcony table overlooking the shore. Speaking of the shore, much love to the Pacific Ocean. Your crashing waves crash through my few bouts of writer's block. Dude, you don't need to suck up to the Pacific Ocean. You ain't gonna get any freebies. The Pacific Ocean don't need the push, man. Lake Como, thank you for providing me with your beautiful landscape. She spends a lot of time thinking places. So far, she has only thanked her mom and stepdad. As far as people go. Oh, she did. No, she thanked the beach for not complaining about the extension cord. Not the people. Alright. Lake Como, thank you for providing me with a beautiful landscape in which to create and for inspiring the creation of Abigail Good? Did she see a hairy person at Lake Como? Don't call that person out. As I gazed over your water, she popped into my mind. Hair? Water? Not sure what the connection is, but thanks anyway. You could have not told us that, Tyra. Wait, so she was the hairy character was inspired. The hairy character
was inspired by waves because it made her think of hair, and she's like, thanks for the inspiration that has no connection to this whatsoever. What, speaking of non sequiturs, not sure what the connection is, but thanks anyway. It didn't hurt that George Clooney lived a few doors down. Did George Clooney inspire Abigail Good, or is this just... She's just like, thanks for George Clooney living there? Or what is this? Did not thank George Clooney, though. Oh, here's some more hashtag relatable. Morocco. The weeks I spent with you produced such superb material. Thanks, Morocco. She just keeps thanking places for 5 pages. Another super chat from CJ Summersby. Does Tyra think beaches are people? I don't know. Thank you. Morocco, the weeks I spent with you produced such superb material. Thank you to the Amangina Resort for your candlelight, and to Abdul for the verbena tea that you kept pouring at 3 a.m. when I was on a writing roll with insane jet lag. Abdul, Mom and John, the only people she's thanked so far. Morocco, thank you for the architectural inspiration for the atrium and the feds. Architecture. Thank you to the wonderful people of the Berber village I visited. Okay, the people. Thank you to the wonderful people of the Berber village I visited. It was a real treat for me to read a section of Modelland for half an hour to children who didn't speak English. Wait, what did these kids think? She read a section of Modelland for half an hour to non-English speaking children that just sat there like, I don't know. Did it sound better? Did she arrange this? No one wanted this. What is going on? What are you doing? This is, her real life is as insane as this book. I thought that if I could hold their attention that long, maybe my book had a chance of success. Shukran. What? No, that's nothing. They were probably like, look at this crazy American woman. Like, all right, something to do. What? Grease. I polished my baby on your soil. What? I polished my baby on your soil? Don't say that. I had to finally let her go while I was in your clutches. Hitting the send button while staring at Crete waves was not easy. It was not easy to send my book from Crete, but somehow I managed it, 'cause I knew the people needed the inspiration. But all children must be launched into the world. It was time. Yes, I have had the amazing privilege to write in some delicious places. But the place I am most grateful for is one that exists in some form around the globe, a place all have access to. The library. The majority of my time writing Modelland was spent in a library. Yes, Tyra too used a library. A place where I feel at peace, at home. I can't believe the bibliotecas, where I spend so much time working on Modelland, will now house it. Now, did she go to bibliotecas in Mexico, in Spain, or does she just think it sounds fancy if she says bibliotecas? Just say it in Spanish, because she pretends she knows 15 languages. She knows 2 languages precisely, English and Smize, and her just nonsense Tyra language. She might have picked up some stuff as a supermodel, I will say. I don't think she speaks anything fluently though. So with much humility, I thank the libraries and the librarians in charge, where I spent so much valuable time. The Mid-Manhattan Library in the Stephen A. Schwartzman Building. Goodness, you are gorgeous! The New York Public Library for the Performing Arts at Lincoln Center. And the Beverly Hills Library, especially for the Belladonna opera lyrics. Oh no! The Beverly Hills Library? You done fudged up. And sorry for eating maple nut fudge, not chocolate, under the table. That Belladonna songwriting worked up my appetite, and the fudge factory is right in your building. Why would she... What? No, I thought it deserved an apology. She just wanted to tell us she ate fudge. Cinemagic XM satellite radio. How do you know the exact score I need to hear when I'm writing a particular passage? Did anyone she thanked read this other than her mom? I don't think John... I know nothing about John. John did not read this. Thank you to my Twitter and Facebook fam who sent warm smizes of encouragement as I struggled with carpal tunnel on my deadline. Thank you to Harvard Business School and my market. She still pretends she's a Harvard graduate. She took business courses over like a few weeks. Thank you to Harvard Business School and my marketing professor Rohit Deshpande for schooling me on Hindi and Indian culture. And that's what you did with it, man. Professor Robert Stephen Kaplan, my leadership professor, my leadership prof, thanks for suggesting I give the Unikas richer, more vulnerable backstory. She talked to Harvard professors. What are your tips on the Unikas? What do you think about the smizing? Can you read my book? Can you read the rough draft of this, please? All 1,475 pages? What do you think? So she didn't even have, like, these vulnerable backstories. She's just like, whatever. Columbia University. I cheated on Harvard with you and used your grand stairway. Shut up with your Harvard. I cheated on Harvard with you and used your grand stairway as opposed to write an entire chapter of Modelland. She wrote an entire chapter at the Columbia University steps. You were so unbelievably breathtaking, and I can't wait for our next tryst. Shh. Thanks to my agent, Nancy Josephson, for believing that Modelland was more than just a place in my head, and for working diligently to make sure it came to life. To my book agent, Andy McNichol, for saying supermodel is an overused term and pushing me to come up with something else. Oh, she wanted to call them supermodels with superpowers, but instead went with Intoxabellas. I see. Hence Intoxabella. That's stupid. To Matt Johnson, my wonderful attorney, I know you look... She's thanking her attorney. I know you look nothing like Guru Matt Joe, and you have nothing in common with him, but I wanted to get your name in the manuscript somehow. Yep, Matt Johnson. She named Guru Matt Joe after her lawyer? Or her attorney? No! To Brad Rose, my trademark attorney, you covered a very important Modelland detail for me. You rock. Stop with this. We have 3.5 pages left. I am so sorry. Tama Smith, your business advice is my saving grace. Look for your name in Modelland too. Sorry, Tama. And Toxabella Tama, maybe? Ken Mock, my dear partner on Top Model. You're an amazing cheerleader and an even more amazing father. And finally, you can visit Modelland, and not just in your sleepy, awake dreams. He never read this. Michael Salort, can you believe it's a real book now? Can you believe people printed this? I could not have kept track of the Modelland... sorry. And there's no way in the world I could have done Man Attack without you. For that and so much more, I am forever grateful. Joe, I could not have kept track of the Modelland story, backstory, front and side stories, and everything in between without you. It was complicated and unnecessary. Laura Brown, thanks for allowing me to hole up in your Harper's Bazaar office while you schooled me on the low-flying duck Aussie speak. Oh no! The Guru Lauro was just Laura Brown? She took all these people she knew from around the world and, like, wrote their cultures the most, like, stereotypical bullshit. Madison, thanks for offering to read my crazy long first draft. Oh, that was... the first draft was too long. I hate to think how long it was. How the heck could you do that and study for Ivy exams? Ivy exams, she put in quotes. Miss Madison, I have read many of your school papers. You have a writing gift. Go for it, girl. Sydney, thanks for the 2 words in this book that you sometimes say that I had to put in. Oh, and Sydney, dance in your spirit and your body. You really are good! 3 exclamation points. Janice Y.K. Lee. Okay, so she has thanked a lot of people now. She just had to thank the places first. Janice Y.K. Lee, yours was the first author reading I've ever been to. Thank you for showing me that once the book is released into the world, it's no longer mine, that the readers own it. No, Tyra, you can have it. And thanks for the homemade Korean barbecue ribs. Yum! And Janice, I'm still hoping for a sequel to The Piano Teacher that I know you will never write. Oh, unlike Tyra, she will write her sequel. Come on, Janice, just one secret MS for me, please. Sarah Shepard, we have experienced a few firsts together. I read that wrong. We've experienced a few firsts together. A first novel for me, a first baby for you. Oh, they're basically the same. You have no idea how my heart swelled when you told me I was a good storyteller. I only hope for a smidgen of the success you have achieved with Pretty Little Liars. Oh, alright. Someone involved with the CW, I imagine. I can't wait to read the sequels that still live inside of that genius head of yours. Stephen King. She thanks Stephen King. Stephen King, it feels so good to even type your name, especially because people will assume we are friends. I want to thank you for writing on writing. She said the quiet part out loud. Yep, I read it twice. Stephen King did not read Modelland, Tyra. He has no idea you thanked him. I may have failed when it comes to your advice that no one should use too many adverbs and adjectives. I ignored everything you wrote, Stephen. Thank you. But Modelland is so splendiferously, kaleidoscopically out of this world colorful, I couldn't help myself. Please forgive me. Never forgiven, never forgotten, Tyra. Stephen King will hold this grudge to his grave. Immaculate Heart High School, thank you for enriching my mind and making me an independent, free-thinking woman. And thanks for having some of the best English teachers on the planet. Mr. Terry Vliet, if it weren't for you and your fabulous literature classes, Modelland might have never come to fruition. It might have remained a mere idea on scrap paper that just disintegrated in the bottom of my messy purse. Another super chat from Hiroshi Loves You, a pair going, keep it up. Thank you. To LA models, elite models, hola Oscar Reyes. City models, merci Veronica. IMG models, the city of Paris, and the fashion industry worldwide, thank you for letting this big four-headed, flat-footed, skinny-calved, cellulite, dimpled butt girl be part of your world. Part of your world. You were the catalyst that gave me the voice to reach so many. And I would like to thank God, first of all. Thank you for this Oscar. She could have just wrote, thanks. 2 pages. We're on the last 2 pages. The Tyra Banks Company. My kick-ass team that keeps our company running. Thank you for... She thanks her own company. Thank you for understanding that I had to check out for months at a time to work on my Modelland baby. I see your beauty. She wrote I-E-Y-E. Hope you lioness of the fierce jungle with great hair. You miraculously managed my insane life, allowing me to focus on the completion of Modelland. Crotches? Winky face? What? What? I can't see shit. I'm sorry. Crotches. Winky face. What's going on? Crotches. 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 Winky face. Another couple super chats. One from Sophia Seal. Curse you, Mr. Vliet from Immaculate Heart High School. Thank you. Another from Cartoon Kelly. I've read on writing too, Tyra. These acknowledgements are more interminable than the book that came before. How? Thank you. Sabrina, crotches. Sabrina, our office gypsy. Oh no. Our office gypsy, thanks for... She didn't talk to anyone, any Romani people. Our office gypsy, thanks for your intense work ethic and keen eye. Your tireless help solidifying our Modelland cover, back covers, spine, and end papers was a hell of a task, girl. And Patrick, our ringmaster. Wow, what can I say? Thanks for believing in, supporting, and understanding what Modelland means to me. Having you lead our team every day is a gift that keeps on surprising and giving. I appreciate you. Here's to all of us fighting to keep expanding the definition of beauty. To my editor, Wendy Loja. Loja? To my editor, Wendy Loja, thanks for taking my first 1,000-page manuscript. Was her first manuscript really 1,000 pages? I hope this is hyperbole. If she wrote fucking 1,000 pages about this book, someone had to read this. That's like a lifetime. I don't believe there was an editor, but that she says there was. She says there was. You know why it ended up like this? Because she had to put 1,000 pages condensed into 569. That's why there was all these oopsies. Who wants any of that? Who wants to dig through that? Thank you for taking my first 1,000-page manuscript. I know, insane, and making it this. How the heck do you know how to do that and not sacrifice the story? Because you had... What story? What are you talking about? It was probably just a bunch of describing outfits and shit. It's a gift that is otherworldly. Are you human? Now that I think of it, your stunning eyes are kind of not really mortal. To Tribeca Flashpoint Media Arts Academy, the cover is slammin'. You know it, 'cause y'all did it. I know it was lots of work and you all rocked it. Much love to sensational artists Perry Horovas and James Red Schmidt. Our hands-on sessions in Chicago were fun and inspiring. Oh, so she helped come up with this cover. And Howard Tolman, you are full of passion for Flashpoint, its instructors and students. They are all lucky to have you as their leader. Hebrew Brantley, the end papers, the graffiti on the inner covers are so much fun. There's so much amazing detail, but I can't find the fried chicken I asked you to put in there. Oh, didn't put the fried chicken in there. To my publisher, Beverly Horowitz, I'm not sure if you knew how dedicated I would be to Modelland, or that I'd also be a big pain in the nitpicky butt perfectionist. This is the work of a perfectionist. But you are a living legend, which means you've seen it all. I feel so blessed that Modelland has been anointed by you. Sorry about being picky. It's just this has to be perfect. Can you imagine having to deal with such a pain in the ass over this? To you, the person reading this book. Oh, please don't, Tyra. No. My first novel. What can I say to express my deepest gratitude? Releasing Modelland into the world, into your hands, makes me feel so excited, yet extremely vulnerable. I'm nervous and curious about how each chapter makes you feel. Which characters speak to you? Please tell me. Which ones you love, hate, or love to hate? Modelland is no longer mine. It belongs to you. Quit trying to give us this stuff. You're like giving us... It's like the paper, the flyers. She's handing us flyers for us to toss out. We don't want it. It belongs to you. I hope you enjoyed reading her as much as I did writing her. Thank you for spending your precious time with my baby. Another super chat from Bento Whalen. Michelle, I'm going to tell mommy on you. Thank you. To John. Oh, John gets a separate. To John, you make me smile and laugh and smile. I'm smiling now as I write this. Smile smilingly. Your selflessness and patience are so rare. Thank you for your many mouth-watering meals you cooked while I typed away. Thank you for accompanying me on many of my odd Columbia steps writing excursions. You need to drop Columbia in there again. Looking up and seeing you right there made me feel so special. Thank you so much for never complaining that I was writing too much, but thank you even more for telling me to go to bed when you knew what I was typing had to be gibberish because it was 3 a.m. Yo te quiero. No, for real. And then a winky face. My brother, Devin, you are amazing. You serve our country and make me feel so safe when I go to bed at night. I know you always say how proud of me you are. You will never truly understand just how proud of you I am, Devi. That fact that you are my brother has me overflowing with admiration, and our mutual love of all things Walt Disney has shown us that all dreams are possible. Thanks for exposing even more of Mr. Disney's life to me, especially the anti-Semitism. You and Walt are my heroes. Love, Wop. Daddy, no matter how old I get, I know I will always be your little girl. Thanks for showering me with so much love. Thanks for taking me to Disneyland multiple times a year when I was young. That's why she wants to make a Modelland theme park. Thanks for taking me to Disneyland multiple times a year when I was young. Experiencing that magical place allowed me to dream up Modelland. Thanks for always calling to check up on me. You seem to have some sixth sense up for when I am stressed. Buster loves you, Daddy. And Ma, thanks for snapping my author photo. You took my first modeling photos and my first fiction author pic. And only. Cool. And thank you so much for carving out a huge block of your precious time to read every last word of that first 1,000-page manuscript and giving me the harsh, unfiltered truth. You cannot publish this. Tyra, you cannot publish this. You are truly the world's most lovely, most beautiful, most loyal, and caring Intoxabella, whoever was, and ever will be. Long live the original CL. Oh, what a twist. It was her mom the whole time. And that, my friends, is Modelland. Holy shit! Alright, so... what I'm walking away feeling about this is what happens when you don't have people to tell you no. Look, I will admit this is probably a fix from the 1,000-page manuscript that originally came from this. But that doesn't make it good. I don't think Tyra really budged on a lot of stuff. Other than they probably said, like, feasibly you cannot print this with 1,000 pages. That's fucking ridiculous. I don't know what the audience is supposed to be other than Tyra Banks. It's like, it's overly violent and yet, like, juvenile at the same time. So, like, it's like, who is this shooting for? Release the Tyra cut, please. No. That'll be like the original Ghostbusters script, you know, like, Dan Aykroyd wrote, like, this giant thing and they had to, like, cut it down because it was ridiculous. You need to have editors. You need to not have just yes people around you. You need to listen to people who know what they're doing. It seems like Tyra did turn to some people for some advice. I suppose there's never going to be a Modelland 2. It ain't happening. This theme park, which is just a photo shoot, I think will happen. I come away from this recommending that you check it out if you're curious, because it's kind of a fascinating study in, like, what not to do with a novel. You can see, like, where she pulled inspiration from, like, other things, like, it's a little bit derivative, but then it goes into, like, things where it's clearly just from, like, her insane mind, and a lot of it's just, like, what Tyra Banks is into. But, I mean, there's a lot of pointlessness. A lot of stuff, like, nothing really much happened. Like, they found out CL was the one in charge and she took over. Like, it's a fascinating study into Tyra Banks mindset, I think. I mean, it tells you a lot about her. I don't think this is a world a lot of people jumped into. I'm not really sure they're, like, Modelland fans per se. Maybe there are some aspiring models who read this, but, like, it's really hard to relate to any of this, and it's pretty telling, the acknowledgements in the back, like how hashtag relatable she thinks it sounds, I think. But yeah, if you guys would like to check this out, or perhaps read along, you should check out the actual book. I linked to the Amazon page where you can buy Modelland in the description of all of these, but you can find it, like, wherever books are sold. It's not too hard to get a copy. There's probably digital copies by now too, if you just want to buy it on, like, a Kindle or whatever. Yeah, I do recommend checking it out. It's insane. The formatting is bizarre. A lot of things I've never seen in books, for good reason. This is, I don't think I'll ever read a book like this again. This is insane. Good stuff. I'll be doing a highlight abridged version of this and releasing it. I've been editing it as I go along. It's still going to be pretty super long, but I'll have that in case anyone would like to see just an abridged version of this whole thing. Thank you all for coming, for hanging out at these streams, for supporting me in my time of need. But thank you mostly to my apartment. The many hours I spent sitting here, reading Modelland. Oh, the things that you've done. Thank you for putting up with my perfectionist self. Oh. Thank you to my cat, listening to all of these through the years. Another super chat from Cartoon Kelly. Next step, live stream where the chat writes a book. Yeah, we'll all write. Yeah, that won't fall apart. Thank you. Another super chat from AB. Will you read J. Manuel's ANTM book? Maybe. I'm very curious. It also sounds pretty crazy. Thank you. What are you guys thinking? You have any more thoughts, questions? I hate to just be like, we're done. There's an ANTM book? Well, it's an ANTM stand-in book. The Wig, the Bitch, and the Meltdown, I believe is the name of J. Manuel's book. There's an evil Tyra Banks in it, from what I hear. What was the point? Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks wanted a franchise. She wanted a movie. She wanted this to be a thing. She wanted a little self-insert Harry Potter world or whatever. She wanted like people to love her self-insert characters. Her OCs do not steal. Can't type the B word in here. Oh. You guys can't type it in there, but you know what? I can say it. This was completely unmarketable, right? Yeah, if you guys, I talked about this in the beginning. If you look up Tyra Banks' book, Modelland book tour and stuff like that, like she had people cosplay, like she paid people to cosplay in Modelland outfits, like with the Centauras and the green and the smizes and whatever. But that's it. Like no one, you can't even find. I found like one piece of Modelland fan art. All the rest of it is like from people who've been watching these streams. They've been very, very good. Thank you. Another super chat from Richard Hawkins. An incredible journey. Hoping to read my copy soon. Good. I'm glad. I'm sorry for cursing you all, but I'm glad it's got some people to open their minds and break free from these fashion restraints. Thank you for that super chat. He looked for Modelland fan fiction? That ain't happening. Yes, yeah, if you guys get a chance, look up the Top Model episode where they do the Modelland finale. It's during the All-Stars season. I forget what number that is. It might be on Netflix, because they Netflix added Top Model seasons on there recently. It's not all of them, but they might have that one. Could be on Hulu, too. They had all of them recently. But yeah, if find in the finale for the Top Model All-Stars season, and then you can watch them reenact some of your favorite parts of Modelland. Another super chat from Poi Poi Girl. Ever consider doing a read your own adventure book and letting people choose paths with super chat? Maybe. It's a good idea. Thank you. I feel like we all went through like a journey together today. And through this whole time, this has been like 9 months. We had a Modelland baby together. Say it as creepy as Tyra would. Trauma bonding. My favorite part was being here with everybody. Aww. It's the official end of 2020. Our long national nightmare is over. Tyraland is over. Tyraland will always be what it is. I think it's been 9 months. Yeah. A Modelland toilet baby. Super chat from Hiroshi Loves You. Is their text version of Spock's brain? Oh, did they do a novelization? That'd be hilarious. Thank you. You're just listening to the Modelland theme yourself. Yeah. If you haven't, please listen to it. Please. All right, guys. I won't prolong this. This has been a blast. We'll have to do some more streams. I'll think of something. Maybe I'll do some Sims, you know? I just started it for the first time, and that's been pretty fun. But yeah, we got to keep doing some of these. So thanks, everyone. Check out my newest video that I just put public if you haven't watched it. I did a video on Star Trek Next Generation's Inner Light. And I'm not really a fan of it, but hopefully you find it funny. Alright. Good night, hot queens. May the Tyra be with you. We are all Tukey. If you believe in her, just send out all of that energy to her on the mountain. She can't do it without you. And thank you, Elizabeth M., for that last super chat. One more for the road. Thank you. Alright, guys. I'll be seeing you around. Goodbye!